Who are the Israelites today? 1. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. These groups are widely believed by many to be the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. Why? Because of historical evidence, migration patterns, and biblical prophecy that points to their experiences, slavery, and oppression. The Bible predicted that the Israelites would suffer slavery and oppression, Deuteronomy 28:68, which aligns with the transatlantic slave trade for Negroes, the colonization of Native Americans, and the enslavement and exploitation of Latinos. Scattered among nations, the Israelites were prophesied to be scattered around the world, Deuteronomy 28:64. That's why these groups are found across the Americas, the Caribbean, and other parts of the world. Cultural similarities, many traditions, spiritual practices, and even linguistic patterns in these groups align with ancient Israelite customs. So the core of the modern-day Israelites includes Negroes, African Americans, West Indians, Latinos, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, etc., and Native Americans. But what about other people? White, Indian, Arab, Chinese? This is where the Bible teaches that lineage is determined by the father, not outward appearance. Let me explain. 1. Seed equals father's lineage. The Bible is clear that a person's identity is determined by the father's line. For example, Numbers 1:18 says that the Israelites were registered by their families, by their fathers' houses. This means if a man from the 12 tribes of Israel has children, those children are Israelites, no matter what their mother's background is. 2. Mixing with other nations. Over thousands of years, Israelite men have had children with women from other nations due to slavery, captivity, migration, or intermarriage. These children might grow up looking like their mother's people, but their lineage still traces back to Israel through their father. Examples. If an Israelite man has a child with a white woman, the child might look white, but they are still an Israelite. If an Israelite man has a child with an Asian woman, the child might look Chinese or Korean, but they are still an Israelite. If an Israelite man has a child with an Arab or Indian woman, the same rule applies. They are still Israelite because of their father's seed. 3. Outward appearance. Doesn't matter to God. 1 Samuel 16:7 says, "Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart." This shows that God isn't concerned with how someone looks. He cares about their lineage and whether they are connected to Him through His promises. Real-life example. Let's say there's a man from the tribe of Judah, one of the 12 tribes, who is a descendant of Negro slaves brought to America. He marries a white woman and they have children. Those kids might look mixed or even white, depending on their mother. If those kids grow up and marry someone else, maybe another white person, their children might look fully white. But guess what? Their bloodline still traces back to that Israelite man from the tribe of Judah, so they are Israelites. Now let's say those kids move to China or India and marry someone from those countries. The children might look Chinese or Indian, but as long as their father's lineage traces back to the 12 tribes, they are still Israelites. What this means. 1. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the core of Israel. They are the main descendants of the 12 tribes because their history and struggles fulfill biblical prophecy. 2. Other nations can have Israelite descendants. 2. Because Israelite men have mixed with women from all over the world, there are Israelites who now look white, Chinese, Arab, or Indian. What matters is not the skin color or appearance, it's whether their father's bloodline traces back to one of the 12 tribes. 3. Why this is important. Some people might think they're not Israelites because they don't look like the typical Negro, Latino, or Native American. But the Bible teaches it's not about looks, it's about lineage. This also shows how Israel has fulfilled the prophecy of being scattered among many waters, nations, but still remains God's chosen people. Final takeaway: Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the main descendants of the Israelites. However, anyone, whether white, Arab, Chinese, or Indian, can still be an Israelite if their father's bloodline goes back to the 12 tribes. God doesn't care about outward appearance or skin color. What matters is the seed, the bloodline, and the connection to the promises he made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is why Israelites today can look like all kinds of races but still be part of God's chosen people.